we are gonna make this. Oh, beautiful Clovis point. Look how, oh. This Clovis point is from North Carolina. The age is the early Holocene. Oh God, I hope I pronounced that right.
Holocene.
The material is metavolcanic, so it would have been made out of obsidian, I believe. And I don't know what that is. Thank you, Steve Davis. You are the man. If you would like the information, I will leave it in the description below. This whole website will be down there. Before we officially get into the video, I would like to give a shout out to my buddy Paleo Passion. You should definitely go check out his YouTube channel. He has a bunch of awesome videos from experimental archaeology, like kind of like bushcraft-like videos, to more documentary-style videos where he talks about ancient human beings. It's very, very interesting stuff. I've learned a lot from him, and he's the one that showed me this website. So huge shout out to him. I'll leave his YouTube in the description below. The old Prusa Mini. Now we do have some other 3D printers here, but they are currently out of commission. This one, the Bamboo Lab, is working, but I'm having some issues because I can't find a USB drive and I can't connect to it for some reason from my computer. So this is the machine we will be working with today. This machine is excellent still. This is an FDM printer, and if you're familiar with 3D printers, you'll know that FDM printers really aren't the best in terms of detail. I'll show you the printer that's best for detail if you're not aware of 3D printers. This bad boy is a resin printer, or a SLM printer, I believe they're called, or yeah, I believe it's SLM. If I got it wrong, I'll correct it on the screen. It's been a while since I've talked about this 3D printer stuff, but now that I found out I can print artifacts, this is a very exciting endeavor. So the reason I can't use this printer is because you can see here, as you can see here, this screen, this is called an FEP screen, it is busted. And this these printers use liquid, so obviously if you pour liquid into that, then it'll seep through and mess up the machine. I'd like to take a moment and mention the sponsor of this video, the Doogie FEP Screen Foundation. You can support this foundation for free by subscribing to the channel. So I will eventually get monetized, and I'm able to buy a new FEP screen, or FEP film, to make better artifacts and better videos. So now let's download the Clovis point. Never thought I'd be saying that. And let's print it off, baby. Alright guys, it's all loaded up. We're rolling with a black filament. I figured that's, I don't know, I didn't really want to do like, I have a wooden filament that I was thinking about trying, but I'm just like, that doesn't make much sense, right? And then I got a bunch of different, it's dark down here, sorry. But I got a bunch of different colors down here. I just figured black would have been the best. I was thinking about white as well, or maybe this crimson red that I got. But for now, we're going to go ahead and roll. Oh yeah, I also have a bronze. I should have done the bronze, actually. Yeah, we'll probably print off another one. And there's always plenty of videos to make. First, we got to see if this one even works. So first things first. There she is, the Clovis baby. And now it is doing its first layer, which it seems to already be failing. Yes, it is failing. So I'm gonna... Here I make a few changes in the slicing software. I'm using the Prusa Slicer software, the software that comes with the printer, of course. Here you can see where it was failing. These layer lines were all sorts of jacked up. I go back and I think I look at it again. No, I don't, but yeah, the layer lines were real jacked up. So I had to reorientate it, and better fix that so that it printed off properly. And the second one here does have success. So this is a working order print right here. This is the process of a working order print, or slicing one at the very least. Round two, baby. Come on. All right. Well, we came down here. We checked it out. We are checking it out. And it doesn't look, it looks a lot better, that's for sure. But it doesn't look like it's gonna be the best. But we're gonna go ahead and keep it running because it's only an hour. And we'll see how it turns out for the second round. But the first layer is only the brim and the support, so it shouldn't matter too terribly much. We'll just keep our eyes on it. We got another 55 minutes remaining, so we'll come down and check on it throughout the process. Checking on it once again, it actually looks pretty decent. It might not be the prettiest when it comes out. I think I should have I think I should have slowed down. Say that fast. Should have slowed. Can't say that fast. God. But I should have slowed down the other layers here, I think. But so far, I think this is gonna work. Alright, we had a little weird mishap where it made me unload the filament. I think there was a color change programmed in, which does remind me that I can do color changes on this, so I'm gonna have to experiment with this. This adds a whole new avenue to this channel, guys. I'm telling you, this is gonna be real fun. But so far, we are at 34 minutes left on this thing, and it's turning out pretty decent, actually. I think it's going to turn out pretty decent. So, we'll see. And here we are with about, well, 6 minutes. I was going to say 5 minutes, but about 5 minutes left. And it's actually looking pretty decent. I really wish I could use the FD, or not the FDM, the resin printer, the SLA printer. Because I can already tell that the detail is not going to be the greatest, but we'll see how it turns out for the first time. Okay, I can kind of rig it up here. So, here, oh, you can't see it very good. Well, let me turn this around again. So I'm going to have to take the supports off, of course. But, you can see, this is the original model. This would have been the original model, and you can see how thin this would have been. At least, I'm assuming that everything's original about the model. But let's go ahead and peel these supports off and get a better look at this. Hopefully I don't break it. There we are. It's not perfect, but looks decent. Especially when it's got that shine on it. Let's get a better look at this. Here it is in the light. And when you get a closer look at it, you can definitely see where it's 3D printed. And I could take a sanding tool and, you know, work this out a little bit and work this out and make it look a little bit better. Like I said before, on the resin printer, this would look outstanding. So I'm definitely going to have to get that thing rigged up and print off some of these with the resin printer. But it's pretty cool because, like I said, I'm pretty sure that this is supposed to be an exact replica. So this is the exact size that it would have been. Pretty neat. It's obviously not sharp, but, and this is made out of PLA plastic, so I did 99% infill, so, I mean, I'm pressing pretty hard there on the back, and it's not breaking, but it would break if you really wanted it to. Let's
just plastic. But I thought it was pretty cool little video to try out. I'm definitely going to be experimenting with this more. There's so many different artifacts to try and print off. I think I wanted to try and do one of the stone pipes next or something like that. Maybe look at some other points. But yeah, pretty neat. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to subscribe. And if you want to see more videos like this, 3D printing artifacts, hopefully we'll get better at the craft. I know we can. I know we can definitely get better. Like I said, resin printer, baby. Make sure to subscribe for the FEP Film Foundation, the Doogie FEP Film Foundation.